Hey guys, it is May 13th, Tuesday, May 13th. This is matLine, and we've got a lot of stuff to cover today, so we'll see how it goes. Worst case scenario, there'll be another video. Okay, so May 13th, 2008, matLine. I'm Matt Brookline. You guys like history? Let's do it. 1607, Jamestown was founded, the first permanent settlement in the United States. Well, not the United States, but on the North America, what becomes the United States. First permanent settlement. 1830, Ecuador, the wonderful, beautiful country, gains its independence from Gran Colombia after a battle. Lots of fighting. You know how it is with the independence. It doesn't normally come easily. I mean, the only people that got independence easily were people that were trying to get it from France, and that was only on some occasions. 1846, the U.S. declared war on Mexico, which, the way things are looking right now with the walls, and I mean, obviously it'll change once we get a new president in, once we get her as president and things settle down. But I mean, if things turn out the way that some people, who knows? I mean, with the walls and the anger and animosity, just general distrust. 1848. Finland performed, they had their national anthem performed for the first time, their current national anthem. A few years before, they had tried to pass some bills, such as one to have a reindeer as on their stamp. They didn't pass. They were unsuccessful. Let's see, 1861. Okay, this is something, a little side note, because I'm a huge astronomy fan. In 1861, the Great Comet of 1861 was discovered. This comet, there were 8 great comets discovered in the 1800s, but the Great Comet of 1861 was unique in the fact that it was visible with the naked eye for 3 months, which is a big deal. You could see it on both hemispheres at different times. It went from southern to northern, and for a period of time, the planet was caught in the tail of the comet, which doesn't happen usually. And so there were not a lot, things didn't get into the planet, but the atmosphere, you could see it, the sky was lit at night differently, so you could see up and it would reflect differently. And also, during the day, the sun was blocked out some. So, that was Great Comet of 1861. In 1880, Thomas Edison performed his first test of the electric railway, which, Thomas Edison, thank you. We have that light rail now. We've got the trolleys are obvious, and San Francisco are totally different because they're on a cable system. Anyway, 1888, Brazil, ahead of no one really, abolished slavery, which is interesting because, it always comes off as the way that everyone else was done with it before America was done with it, but clearly Brazil is a little bit behind the curve. 1912, the Royal Flying Corps of England was formed, which is now the Royal Air Force. 1939, the first commercial FM station opened its doors opened it onto the airways in Bloomfield, Connecticut. I used to have a radio show. Radio is amazing. It's a lot less of this. But it's live, so it's a little bit different. Granted, I only do this one take, but it's a little different. The station was WDRC-FM, and you can just talk. I could be reading. I never read when I was on the radio station, but it's different because you just babble and people will listen. I guess you guys do the same thing though, huh? I just babble and you listen. 1950, in Silverstone, England, the first Formula One World Championship was held. Race cars, Formula One. 1958, Velcro's trademark was registered. So, Velcro. You hear that? Yeah, Velcro. I'm sure you want to see that. Yeah, whatever. Too bad. I don't want to get kicked off the tube. Because that's what I call YouTube. When I'm by myself, I call it the tube. In 1981, Pope John Paul II, there was an attempt on his life in Rome, and which is, I'm all for disagreement and discussion on religion, anything of that nature. I mean, I love discussion. I love arguing. I love arguing. But regardless of your level of intolerance, I don't think trying to kill someone is ever really the answer. That's just my opinion. I mean, what do I know? That's what led to the construction of the Pope-mobile, which, if you see, when whatever Eggs Benedict came to America, and they showed his Pope-mobile, it's way sweeter than JP's Deuce was. 1989, Tiananmen Square, the student-led hunger strikes began, which obviously led to some change, but extremely terrible outcomes and gruesome visuals that we all have seen of the monks on fire, the student getting run over by the tank, things of that nature. It's just terrible. And it's just terrible that sometimes that's what it takes for change. Strikes, protests, things that I mean, those are one thing, but violence, terrible atrocities. It's terrible that that has to happen. And I don't believe that that's human nature, if you were wondering. I think that that's something entirely different. Birthdays. More than usual. Stevie Wonder. I'm not sick, don't worry. Just something. Anyway, Stevie Wonder, who I've always wondered when he performs, like sometimes he looks good, normal. Sometimes I wonder if I mean, clearly he's blind, so he can't see it, but do you think he has any idea what he's wearing? Like, I remember specifically one of my favorites was his performance at a Super Bowl, and I don't know if you can see my arms. He had, like, down his sleeves, African American, and I mean, that's all sweet and dandy, but do you think he knew that he had that? Ravi Shankar, who's the spiritualist, he's what's her name's dad? I can't remember her name. I'll put it in the comments when I look it up. I can't remember. Anyway, he was influential in the Beatles and everything. Dennis Rodman, only a few years younger than Stevie Wonder. Who knew? Stephen Colbert, Colbert Report. Darius Rucker, Hootie and the Blowfish. I mean, come on, amazing. And Alison Goldfrapp, who, if you ever heard of Goldfrapp, the musical experience band, they're impressive. I like them a lot. And Sonny Leone, if you know who that is, you know who that is. If you don't, then you don't. And then on to some real quick current news. There's this whole earthquake thing. I mean, it's just earthquake with 1,800 possibly buried, 1,200 already dead. I don't know. And it's right after this huge cyclone in Myanmar, or what used to be Burma. It's just crazy what's going. I mean, obviously it's not things that are, who knows? It's just wild. It's terrible. And my heart goes out to all the people that are affected, not just who've lost family members, but are affected by this. I'm sorry. And a little bit of just totally ridiculous news. In Ohio, and I forget the county, it's in Fairfield. I don't remember what the county is called. The father, his daughter's 18, almost 19 years old, has an 18-month-old child who just took the GED and failed, and now her dad's going to jail for 6 months. It was this whole thing with this judge. I really think the judge is just trying to make a name for himself, and I hope that the people of that Fairfield, Ohio area respond to this, and I hope that you help him make a name for himself as a judge that gets not another term. I don't know how you re-elect there, but it's just, I mean, and then the funny thing is, I mean, out of the whole thing is that she missed more school when she was with her mom than with her dad, but he's the primary caretaker. Anyway, go ahead and, I mean, if you want to, rate, subscribe, favorite, comment, all those good things. And I'm going to leave you with a different thought than usual. It's from this book that I'm reading that I'm in love with. So, it goes, I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. And that's, if you know what book it is, say it. Alright, I love you guys.